Welcome everyone to Monday Night Raw, episode 2 in my series with Spam Wrestling. If this is your first time watching the series, go and watch the fantasy draft we did, as well as episode 1 of Monday Night Raw. But to sum up the series, this is a throwback to the Ruthless Aggression era. Spam has Smackdown, and I have Raw. And we're going head to head in this Smackdown vs Raw GM mode type series with Jack's WWE figures. Each episode, we're going to be fantasy booking a show, but the outcome of our matches are randomized to add a little bit of a twist so that we don't have control over the match outcomes. And we had our debut episode before, and if you like to see what Smackdown was like, go over and watch it on Spam Wrestling's channel. For episode 2, this is going to be the go-home show for our pay-per-views. So Spam Wrestling's pay-per-view he's going to be building towards is going to be Judgment Day, and mine is a Raw exclusive. It will be Backlash. So episode 3, you'll see Backlash, but tonight I'm setting up the matches for Backlash, and who knows, because of the randomly generated outcomes of matches, I may not even get the card I want. So without further ado, let's get into episode 2 of Monday Night Raw, the go-home to Backlash. So JR and the King, they're going to welcome us to Monday Night Raw, and the opening contest is another Intercontinental title tournament match between Mr. Kennedy and Rey Mysterio. The winner of this match will face Carlito at Backlash for the Intercontinental title. So Rey's going to start off quick, as he always does, hitting the DDT onto Kennedy, as well as hitting a plancha over the top onto Kennedy, though he's going to come back with his tactics, the Kenton Bomb, but Rey Mysterio has accounted for everything and frustrates Kennedy. He goes to hit a 619, however, Kennedy gets the knees up for the splash, and also, for added insult, has his feet on the ropes to roll up Rey Mysterio and pick up the victory. So Kennedy will advance in the tournament. However, after the match, from out of nowhere, Bobby Lashley hitting a spear as revenge for what happened the week prior when Kennedy cost Lashley the match against Carlito. So because of that, what's going to happen now is there's going to be a triple threat match for the Intercontinental title at Backlash, because Lashley, he didn't lose clean. So it's going to be Lashley, Kennedy and Carlito fighting for the title in a triple threat. And speaking of titles, to spice up this episode, we're going to have the World Tag Team titles on the line in match 2, featuring 2 teams that I set up last week. It's going to be The Miz and Johnny Nitro teaming up against Los Guerreros, who entered the arena in their lowrider. Eddie and Chavo, they're going to hit some double team moves early, but Miz and Nitro are going to use those dirty tactics from the heels to try and distract the referee. Eventually though, Eddie gets the hot tag, hits a frog splash. However, when Nitro distracts the referee, Umaga comes in, hits the Samoan spike on Eddie Guerrero after the Guerrero stopped Umaga beating down Rey Mysterio last week. So, because of that, we have new World Tag Team Champions in Johnny Nitro and The Miz, and the issues between the Guerreros and Umaga are so much that now at Backlash, it's going to be Eddie Guerrero going one-on-one with Umaga. Next up, we got a promo segment. So the new World Heavyweight Champion Batista, he's going to come out and address the audience after winning a Fatal 4-Way last week. So now he's going to thank the fans. He also announces tonight's main event, which is going to be a number 1 contenders match between Randy Orton and Shawn Michaels, and the winner will face Batista at Backlash, and Batista says he is ready for the challenge. Next up, got another match, the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy going up against Finlay. Solid mid-card action here, Hardy using his high-flying tactics to great effect. However, Finlay, that powerful Irish style, does a lot of damage to Jeff. Hardy though comes through back with the twist of fate. He was stopped with the Swanton, however, as Raven is at ringside to distract him, and that allows Finlay to hit the Celtic Cross and pick up the victory here on Raw. And after the match, Raven delivers the Raven effect to Jeff Hardy on the floor, and of course, Raven in the crowd last week to cut a promo on Jeff, and this is to set up a match at Backlash between the two. It's going to be Raven's Rules, essentially a hardcore match between Raven and Jeff. Next up, another big time match between Chris Jericho and the Rated R Superstar Edge. 2 Canadians going to war right here. Jericho looks to have the match in hand with a couple of big moves, including a Lion Soul. Edge though comes back at him with the Execution DDT, and he sets up for the spear on Jericho, but Jericho counters at the last second, hitting the code breaker, and after which he locks in the walls of Jericho, and Edge has no choice but to tap out. Edge is at ringside, absolutely furious, having suffered a loss. Meanwhile, at the end of the match, Jericho gets on the mic and challenges the new World Tag Team Champions Miz and Nitro to a World Tag title match at Backlash. After all, Jericho was attacked on the highlight reel last week, so he wants revenge, and he says he's going to find a partner to try and take the titles from The Miz and Nitro. And the final promo segment of the evening got a backstage interview with Shawn Michaels before the main event. He says he's going to beat Orton tonight and go on to Backlash to win the world title. He says he can beat anybody on this show, whether that be Batista, Orton, or Edge, and as soon as Edge hears his name walking past after his loss, he snaps, spearing Shawn Michaels into the metal shutters and leaves him laying before the big main event match later on tonight. So Shawn Michaels is not 100%, and the main event is up next. It's the number one contenders match. The winner faces Batista at Backlash. Randy Orton, he enters the arena, he's posing, he's cocky, even though he was the one pinned last week. He wants to win this match by forfeit, but Shawn Michaels courageously comes out to ringside. He's not going to let an attack slow him down, being the plucky underdog that he is. He's out to fight Orton, however Orton has other plans, boots him in the face, and it's clear that Michaels is not in any condition to compete. Randy Orton throws him into the steel stairs for good measure, but Michaels isn't going to give up. He comes back at Orton with the diving forearm, but Orton is there to stop him in his tracks with a rope draping DDT. HBK though, with the last bit of strength he has, hits the elbow drop from the top, but when he goes for the super kick, Orton catches it, and what does he do? He spins it into the RKO. Shawn Michaels didn't stand a chance after being attacked by Edge, and thus Randy Orton, because of the random generator by the way deciding these matches, he is going to go on to Backlash to face Batista, and at the end of the show, Orton is on the stage, but Batista goes up to congratulate him as they have an intense stare down. And we find out at the end of the show that the main event of Backlash is going to be Batista versus Randy Orton inside a steel cage for the World Heavyweight Championship. Also, after the attack from Edge to Shawn Michaels, it's going to be Michaels versus Edge in a grudge match at Backlash. So I'm setting up a bunch of stuff right now. So, now episode 3, that is going to be Backlash, the next episode, and I'll run down what the card I've got planned for that event is. I'm going to have Batista going up against Randy Orton in a steel cage match for the world title. For the Intercontinental title in a triple threat match, it's going to be Mr. Kennedy, Bobby Lashley and Carlito. In a Ravens Rules hardcore match, it's going to be Jeff Hardy facing Raven. It's also going to be Edge versus Shawn Michaels in a grudge match, plus another grudge match between Eddie Guerrero and Umaga, and finally, World Tag Team title match, Johnny Nitro and The Miz putting the titles on the line against Chris Jericho and a partner of his choosing. So, that's what happened on Raw. Find out what happens on Smackdown by going over to Spam Wrestling's channel and subscribing to him, the link in the description. That show should be out in the next few days, hopefully, and if you're not subscribed to NLW yet, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you never miss an upload. Like the video if you're excited to see Backlash and the series, and let us know in the comments below, what matches do you want to see on Raw? Are you a Raw guy, or actually are you digging Smackdown more at the moment? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you guys later.